Tonight on News 5 Live, a special sitting of the House, a donation of 5,000 laptops, and the signing of a technical cooperation agreement during the state visit of Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen. A 16-year-old high schooler is murdered. A 6-year-old perishes in an RTA in Belize City. And Godwin Haylock is the new UDP standard bearer for Queen Square. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
At SMART, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's Quality and Savings.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
My name is Janine and I live in Belize City. I've been a social worker for 2 years now. Social work is actually a difficult job. It takes a lot from you, not physically, but mentally. I went for an interview once for a job in dealing with youths at risk. And while in the interview, I was asked the question if I'm sure I wanted the job because it was dealing with troubled youth. And the interviewer looked at me and said, well, we would prefer a male for the job. I was hurt at first because I thought I was as qualified as the male to get the job. And it really stuck with me because then I thought, if I am as qualified, why wasn't I chosen? Why would you want to eliminate 50% of the workforce? People are supposed to be hired based on merit and not gender.
If you are ailing due to a chronic disease and are left permanently invalid before retirement age, you may want to check if you qualify to receive invalidity benefit. The invalidity benefit exists for persons who are unable to continue working due to permanent illness. To qualify, you must be under 60 years old, must be sick for 26 consecutive weeks and certified to be medically unable to perform any type of work, must have at least 5 years of paid SSB contributions and at least 5 paid within the 3 months leading up to your illness. If you do not qualify for the invalidity pension, you may be eligible for the invalidity grant. Want to know more about invalidity benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Monday, April 3rd. I am Sabrina Daly. Taiwanese President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen had a full itinerary today during her second state visit to Belize. That schedule ends later tonight, following a dinner with Prime Minister John Briceño at the Museum of Belize. We'll bring you a live report from that event later in our newscast. But first, we look at what was covered today during a round of official meetings and activities related to the president's visit. This morning at the Leigh Richardson Building, Prime Minister John Briceño and Foreign Minister Eamon Courtney hosted the president, as well as Taiwan's Minister of Foreign Affairs and other government officials, as they signed a technical cooperation framework agreement between both countries. A generous donation of 5,000 digital devices were also handed over to the Briceño administration to assist with one of 2 initiatives between Belize and Taiwan. News 5's Isani Kayatano was in Belmopan and has the following story.
The handing over of 5,000 laptops to the government of Belize to assist the country in improving learning resources for vulnerable groups such as children and women in rural areas is part of a technical cooperation framework agreement between both countries. President Tsai Ing-wen of the Republic of China, Taiwan, presented Prime Minister John Briceño with the donation at the Leigh Richardson Building, the seat of the Ministry of Home Affairs.
It is encouraging to see these projects taking shape in Belize. In addition, technical projects are essential to bettering the lives of our citizens. Therefore, I'm also delighted to bear witness to our foreign ministers signing of an agreement that will streamline and strengthen our bilateral technical cooperation. I look forward to more cooperation in the many years to come.
The signing of the agreement between Foreign Ministers Eamon Courtney and Joshua Joseph Wu was witnessed by both heads of government, including Prime Minister Briceño.
This agreement will serve to further establish cooperation programs in areas such as agriculture, forestry, technology, education, climate change, youth and women, health, tourism, and other areas of mutual interest. Likewise, it is a reflection of the many projects our two countries are presently engaged in as we continue to strengthen our bilateral relations. Belize and Taiwan share a long-standing friendship that spans almost 34 years. For 32 years of those years, a Taiwan technical mission has been assisting us implementing these initiatives which help to support our country's growth and development. Currently, there are several ongoing cooperation initiatives between our governments. Taiwan has offered its technical and scientific expertise in numerous areas in Belize.
The official visit comes at a time when Taiwan needs to shore up bilateral relations with its allies. In Central America, Belize and Guatemala are the only remaining countries with allegiances to the island nation of Taiwan.
In addition to our many collaborations, we are proud to call Belize a fellow believers in freedom and democracy, our close ally. Just a few days ago, your House of Representatives passed a motion reiterating Belize's support and friendship for Taiwan. On behalf of the people and government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Belize for its strong support for Taiwan's democracy and international participation. Both our ongoing projects and future commitments are signs of bright futures for our bilateral ties.
The signing and handing over ceremonies were part of activities organized during the state visit of President Tsai Ing-wen, the second call on Belize during her time in office. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Following the signing ceremony at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Taiwanese President and Prime Minister Briceño met in closed session before proceeding to the National Assembly, where a joint special sitting of the House of Representatives and the Senate was held. President Tsai Ing-wen also addressed Parliament and spoke of the abiding relationship between Belize and Taiwan. She was also graciously welcomed by the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano once again.
The House of Representatives and the Senate met jointly this morning during a special sitting to welcome Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen. The galleries were filled to capacity with government officials from Belize and Taiwan, as well as reporters and videographers. On the floor, the Taiwanese head of government was flanked by the President of the Senate, as well as the Speaker of the House. President Tsai Ing-wen was formally received by both women parliamentarians.
There is a folk song in Belize that says, "You must go, but you must come back." So on behalf of the Senate of Belize, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you, President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, back to Belize and back to this honorable chamber. Belize and the Republic of China, Taiwan, share a unique bond of friendship and partnership, anchored in our mutual respect for national sovereignty, our core values of democracy, freedom, and human rights, and our shared vision of peace and prosperity for all nations.
House Speaker Valerie Woods highlighted the fact that it was the first time that a trifecta of leading women in politics sat together in the National Assembly, before going on to recognize the mutual relations between Belize and Taiwan.
Today is a very proud moment for all Belizeans because we welcome the first woman president of the Republic of China, but in the National Assembly of Belize, it is the first time we have 3 women sitting on the dais. The people of Taiwan and Belize share the values and principles of freedom, democracy, peace, the respect of human rights, and of course, the rule of law. We value Taiwan's determined commitment to advancing democratic governance and Taiwan's contributions to the international community. The National Assembly of Belize has affirmed this recognition with motions supporting Taiwan's inclusion in international organizations and most recently in the support of democratic Taiwan.
Earlier during the ceremonial meeting, Prime Minister John Brisseni referred to the recently approved decision to stand firmly behind Taiwan and strengthen the bond between both nations through bilateral cooperation.
At our last meeting of the National Assembly, we approved the resolution to support democratic Taiwan Motion 2023. which called for our commitment to the strong and healthy diplomatic bond between Belize and Taiwan and the close bilateral cooperation in multiple areas. Madam President, for Belizeans, this is a historic time. This is a historic home, the National Assembly. It was from these very steps that you ascended that the father of our nation, George Price, said on Independence Day in 1981, and I quote, "Belize is a people with all the attributes of nationhood, having one flag, one government, one constitution. Our mind imbues the democratic process. Our hand works the mixed economy. Our heart beats with social justice, and our soul cherishes treasures of the spirit."
During her brief presentation, President Tsai Ing-wen recalled her first visit to Belize a few years ago. She also spoke to the resilience of Taiwanese and Belizean people in the face of our challenging pasts.
I have very fond memories of my last trip to Belize. I visited Taiwan Street, where our embassy stands. I also remember meeting aspiring young Belizeans and was very happy to offer scholarship for their studies in Taiwan. I remember thinking these bright minds will eventually serve as bridges for our friendship in our shared future. I also remember visiting the Museum of Belize, seeing the drawings of slave ships and hearing dreadful stories of the slave trade. What our two countries share is the strength and courage to rise from our challenging past and make our present and future free, bright, and prosperous. Therefore, I must tell you again, I'm delighted to be back in your beautiful country.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
On adjournment, we caught up with opposition leader Shine Barrow and got his take on the ceremonial sitting, as well as the significance of President Tsai Ing-wen's presentation. Here's that interview.
I was very moved by her speech. We have so much in common as far as existential threats to our sovereignty. And so it really struck a chord when you listen to the difficulties that they are facing by the People's Republic of China. And it really brings to mind what we have faced over the years with Guatemala, what we are facing right now at the International Court of Justice. And that is what really binds Belize and Taiwan. You know, there's, throughout the course of the different governments, there's always discussions with overtures being made by the People's Republic of China for us to switch allegiance as a country. You saw recently Honduras moved to diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China and left Taiwan. And it is a real matter that I believe there are only a few nations left. And as I listened to the president speak, you know, I felt emotional that I don't think there's any, I know there's no amount of money in the world or no amount of offerings that could be offered to me as Prime Minister to abandon Taiwan, because it is so much more than whatever material gains may be offered by the People's Republic of China. It is about democracy, it is about freedom, it is about sovereignty, and we have shared this relationship for so long that if we are the last one standing, we will be the last one standing.
Coming up, 12 detained following robbery turned murder in Gracie Rock. Find out the details when we come back.
Years ago, I decided to provide respite care to young Jose who lives at the children's home. So now during the Easter, summer, and Christmas holidays, he would come and spend time with me and my daughter at our home. Sometimes he even comes on weekends. We try to engage in as many fun activities as possible, giving him all the care and attention he deserves. Even though he is with us only part-time, he has become part of my small family, and we always look forward to spending time with him during the holidays. I could not have been happier to have made this decision.
Contact the Department of Human Services and find out how you can become a foster or adoptive parent and be that heart of gold.
The Belize Tourism Board is looking for a catchy and creative jingle for its Civic Pride campaign. The campaign promotes values such as pride and appreciation for Belize, no littering, respect for our national anthem and flag, and protection of our resources, to name a few. Qualifying jingles must be 30 to 45 seconds long in MP3 format. The lyrics should be primarily in English, but can include phrases from other cultural groups in Belize, and must include the words civic pride and Belize. Jingles will be judged based on creativity, originality, musical talent, overall quality, clarity, and compliance with competition rules and guidelines. The winner of the jingle competition will receive a cash prize of $3,000. You have until April 17th, 2023 to email your jingle to pr@belizetourismboard.org. For rules and guidelines, call 227-2420, visit BTB's Facebook page, or email us at pr@belizetourismboard.org.
Welcome to Design Depot. All in one place. Shop brands you know and trust, like Kohler. Welcome, GE Appliances.
Welcome,
Oran Windows.
Welcome,
Tiles from around the world.
welcome,
Sherwin-Williams Paint and Coating. Visit us today at mile 3 on the Philip Golson Highway or call us at 223-3768. Design Depot. All in one place.
1. Introducing DigiOne Bundles. Bundle your home internet, mobile, home phone, and DigiTV services. One bundle, no hassle, exceptional value. DigiOne. Digi, our national telecom.
You have been a safe driver all your life when an unavoidable accident happens. But this does not mean that your insurance premium must increase. With RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, safe drivers will not lose their no-claims discounts because of those minor, unavoidable accidents. For more information on RF&G's Accident Forgiveness Program, contact us at 223-5734. When it comes to motor insurance, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
3 persons lost their lives over the weekend in 2 separate shooting incidents and a road traffic accident. We begin with the murder of 16-year-old Belize City student Wellington Williams on Central American Boulevard. At around 6:30 on Saturday night, Williams was walking towards the Port of Belize compound to deliver food for his aunt's fast food restaurant when he was approached by a pair of gunmen. The assailants fired in Williams's direction at close range, causing fatal injuries to his chest and abdomen. They then made good their escape. Williams was rushed to the KHMH where he died while undergoing treatment. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
16-year-old Wellington Williams, a third-form student at St. John's College, was shot and killed near his home in Belize City on Saturday evening. His mother, Cleta Novello, is trying to come to terms with her son's murder. This morning, she recounted the incident that led to his untimely demise.
The information that I received was that he was doing a routine or a regular errand. When truckers from Puma are in, his aunt asked him to take food to them, deliver food for them. Upon reaching about 3 to 4 houses away from the area, everyone just hear pow, pow, pow. They were, my sister told me that they were saying that they was on the phone with the security at Puma, telling them that the food is on the way, and the security heard the noise, they end call, everybody rushed out.
It is believed that the perpetrators were hiding behind this concrete fence as an unsuspecting Williams approached. They fired at least 8 gunshots in his direction at close range. An injured Williams ran a short distance towards his aunt's kitchen before collapsing on the sidewalk.
One of the aunts said he only holler in Spanish, Tia, Tia, and when they rushed out, they saw him on the ground. So everyone just picked him up, put him in a vehicle, rushed him to the hospital. When we saw his body, it was multiple gunshots in his chest, hand, and we saw on his side here. I don't know where else, and things like that.
According to ASP Fitzroy Yearwood, the communications director at the Belize Police Department, investigators are in possession of information that could potentially lead them to the culprits.
I know that police officers are following several leads, but for us to say that motive has been established, it's not there as yet, but I can tell you that investigators have been canvassing the area from Saturday, and we have some useful information that we believe could bring some form of closure to us.
Wellington Williams was a recipient of SJC's Mary O'Connor Scholarship, a grant awarded to students from St. Martin's de Porres Primary School. He was also a member of the high school's marching band. We spoke with Myrta Peralta, the president of SJC, this afternoon at her office.
We are grieving, of course, and we're saddened by the situation. Since we've heard the news, we have called on our teachers, on the administration, to come together for us to talk about it, to talk about how we feel about the situation. Wellington was a part of SJC, and so it is natural that we are going to grieve him. We also had this morning, we met with the family, with Ms. Cleta and her 4 other children, and they also had an opportunity for them to share, how Wellington was at home and and how they're feeling at this time. He was also a part of the marching band, and again, that was very heartwarming when his mother explained this morning, how alive, how he felt being part of, and how, the drums was like everything for him after school. So, when we bring the students here, we create that space for them to not only come here to study, but also to meet friends and to feel safe.
Gun violence has claimed the life of 2 other SJC high school students in recent times. In September 2021, 15-year-old Dwayne Gabriel was gunned down on New Road. 2 weeks later, 15-year-old Casman Gill succumbed to gunshot injuries he sustained while walking on Magazine Road. Gabriel, Gill, and Williams were all from the same cohort of students.
One of the things that we are already talking about is, what are we going to do as an intervention measure? Because it is not about reacting now, but what is it that we're going to do for the students that will come? Because Dwayne, Gabriel, Casman Gill, and now Wellington Williams were all third farm students. And in fact, they were all of them were enrolled in the same cohort. What are we going to do so that when they get into third farm, then they will be more prepared to deal with the societal issues that there are, and of course the violence that is on the street. Our boys are a target, one, because we're the only all-boys school in the country, and so when we lose one of the 700, it is a lot.
According to his mother, Wellington was also an active member of a church youth group in Belize City. He attended youth meetings religiously on Friday nights. Recently, he began attending Bible studies on Penn Road, where he was being mentored.
A humble young man, everybody comes and say he's well-mannerly, humble, very active. Never heard him getting in trouble with the police, with anything, so he doesn't have a record. He was like, Mom, when I finish fourth form, I will asking my uncles in the States to let me migrate to the States with them. I said, if you graduate, he said, no, Mom, I will graduate.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Hattieville resident Denver Montero was chopped and shot to death in Gracie Rock Village on Sunday evening. Another man, Ryan Kerr, was also injured, but was rushed to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, where he is reportedly admitted in stable condition. Montero and Kerr were among a group of persons socializing in the village when they came under attack by a group from Belize City. At least one person among them was armed with a gun. The armed robbery ended with the murder of Montero and the attempted murder of Kerr. In the aftermath of the incident, quick response from the police led to the interception of a van with 12 suspects inside. The youngest was 12 years old. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
26-year-old Denver Montero was a mechanic from Hattieville and was one of several persons who went for a swim at the river that runs through Gracie Rock Village. As they were socializing, they were being robbed of personal belongings that were on the riverbank near the Hammock Bridge, located at the far end of the village. Montero was chopped in the face before shots were fired by one of the robbers. He was hit multiple times and died on the spot, while Ryan Kerr was also hit but ran for help before he was rushed to the KHMH for treatment.
The lifeless body of Denver Denmark Montero, 26 years. Lying face up with apparent chop wounds and gunshot wounds to the body. So police also received information that Ryan Kerr was transported to the KHMH with apparent gunshot wounds also. Initial investigations revealed that a large number of people were in that area swimming in the river when they were approached by about 12 male persons that were in a van who proceeded to rob them of their personal items. And while one of these men was brandishing a firearm.
The robbers fled the scene in a Dodge Caravan. The vehicle was intercepted by police near mile 15 on the George Price Highway. 12 persons were inside the vehicle, including several minors, the youngest a 12-year-old who claims that he lives in Lake High. These persons are currently being held at the police stations in Hattieville and Ladyville.
Hattieville police approached these persons between mile 14 and 15 on the George Price Highway and conducted a search on them where many of these persons' personal items that were stolen were recovered. These persons were taken into custody. Their names will be released later on today, and we will update you as to whether charges have been filed against them. But we know that they have been identified as the culprits that were at Grace Rock earlier on Sunday. Body of Denver Montero was pronounced dead at the KHMH and now awaits a post-mortem.
Can you confirm if not sure how many, but several of the persons detained are minors?
Well, their ages will be released. I know that minors are involved, but we also have adults detained.
ASP Yearwood says that the stolen items have been recovered. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
A 6-year-old student of Unity Presbyterian School in the Antelope Street Extension area of Belize City lost his life on Saturday morning when he was knocked down and killed just a stone's throw away from his house. Initial reports were that Armando Godoy was heading to a shop across the street from where he lived to purchase items for his mother. The family says that is not so, and that he was following his older cousins who had gone to the shop, and that the fatal accident could have been worse. According to police, Dean Logan was the driver behind the wheel of the Next Gen company vehicle that struck and killed Godoy. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
6-year-old Armando Godoy had a twin sister, and it was their first weekend since school closed for the Easter holidays. Just before midday on Saturday, he was run over and killed by a vehicle, and the driver did not stop. Erica Bermudez, who was like an aunt to Armando, spoke on behalf of the family, who is understandably distraught. While she did not see what happened, Bermudez says that Armando's cousins were sent to the shop across the street to buy, and unknowingly to any of the adults in the house, Armando followed them.
My son and my nephew went to buy. The baby was left with the phone in the house to the back. When he noticed that the cousins didn't come, he came under the house so we could not see him and went looking for them. He crossed the road, and then his cousins told him not to run, and he returned and stood by the car while the others were buying. While the boys were buying, the boy thought they were playing, and he hid by the vehicle. Like any innocent child, he thought they were playing. I don't know how far away they were from the vehicle, but if the car came out a little further, it would have hit the other boys as well. We have to clarify, the boy was not buying anything for his mother. His mother did not send him to the shop.
Police responded to the scene shortly after to discover the body of Godoy on the dirt road. The driver of the vehicle, Dean Logan, claims that he didn't see the child, nor was he aware that he had struck anyone, but was informed and drove himself to the police. But the evidence shows that the vehicle ran over the child.
The officers on the scene were informed by officers from the Raccoon Street Police Station that a vehicle was parked at the station where the driver claimed that he was called and informed that apparently he hit a child on Antelope Street Extension. He didn't know what was the extent of the injuries that the child sustained, and at that time he did not know that the child had succumbed to his injuries. The driver was cooperating with police, and he claimed that he didn't know that the vehicle hit that child. He identified himself to police as Dion Logan, 44 years, driver for Next Gen Company, and he was driving a vehicle that belonged to that company.
Statements have been recorded and Logan was taken into custody and issued a notice of intended prosecution.
He was detained, an IP was served, samples obtained, and he was informed that he was being detained for manslaughter by negligence. I know that at this time, he's back at the station waiting for his charges relating to this incident. But I must say, he came to the station after he was called on his own and have been cooperating with the police from since.
News 5 can confirm that even though a school is in the immediate vicinity, there are no speed bumps or pedestrian crossings in the area, which residents say has been a concern for years. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
2 other persons lost their lives in separate road traffic accidents out west. On Friday night, Horace Popper was knocked down and killed by a taxi driver around mile 51 on the George Price Highway in Ontario Village. Guillermo Garcia has since been served with a notice of intended prosecution. Today, ASP Fitzroy Yearwood shared the details of the accident.
Sometime around 10 p.m. in the Cayo district, where police visited a scene at 51.5 miles on the George Price Highway, where they saw the motionless body of Horace Popper, 31 years. Initial investigation revealed that Guillermo Garcia, 50 years, Belizean taxi driver, was driving his vehicle in that area, and upon approaching mile 51.5, he ran over Popper, who was lying on the highway. At the time of the accident, visibility was poor, and Guillermo was detained, served with an IP, and hopefully we will be levying charges upon Mr. Garcia.
He was a football athlete with Georgeville FC, but on Saturday night, Adrian Usher also lost his life in a traffic accident on the George Price Highway in the area of Central Farm. Usher was riding his motorcycle when he collided head-on with a pickup truck driven by William Swan. The incident occurred around 7:30 p.m. and the impact from the collision flung Usher to the pavement and his death. Police say Swan has since been served with a notice of intended prosecution.
Initial investigation revealed that William Swan was driving his pickup truck in the direction of Esperanza towards Central Farm when he heard a loud bang and realized that a cycle crashed into the front portion of his vehicle. The driver of the cycle was flung onto the highway and upon impact sustained severe head and body injuries. He has since been identified as Adrian Usher, 27 years. Mr. Swan was also detained and served with a notice of intended prosecution.
After the break, Godwin Haylock is the new UDP Queen Square standard bearer.
You've been longing for a break. Well, it's finally here. Let's go on an adventure together and experience Easter on the islands like never before. Here at San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi, we are doing it big. With every round-trip ticket purchase, get a chance to win up to $10,000 in cash prizes. You heard right. San Pedro Belize Express will be giving away a total of $10,000 in cash prizes. Ride with us this Easter for a chance to become one of our lucky winners. This Easter, the islands come alive, and so should you. Relax, enjoy, hang out, explore. Our impressive fleet and unmatched schedule will have you cruising through the Caribbean Sea to your sunset destination in no time. Whether you're headed to Key Cocker, La Isla Cariñosa, or San Pedro, La Isla Bonita, we'll cater to your every travel needs. So, set your eyes on the horizons and take the scenic route, because this journey matters. So, what are you waiting for? Gear up for an affordable and unforgettable travel experience. San Pedro Belize Express Water Taxi, the most rewarding way to travel.
From generation to generation, Crystal Water is there every step of the way. Taste you can trust.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
We're here at Belmopan Irrigation Hardware. We're a hardware store here in Belmopan. We have so many products, from starting your home, your foundation with construction material, all the way to finishing your house with a roof. Everything we have that you need to build your home from start to finish. Belmopan Irrigation Hardware, in collaboration and partnership with BEL, to promote electric bikes and electric scooters. It's a new product that we're venturing into. BEL came with this app that we can download and install and then add our account to it. And what I like about it is that you can track and manage your electricity usage from month to month, going back 12 months and then saying, how can I save this month and not use so much electricity? So the products we have featuring here is we have the women's e-bike. It's a Huffy brand designed for women. And some of the features that it has a front and rear disc brakes, to stop immediately when needed. And it's an e-bike, so it has a 36-volt battery and a 350-watt motor in the back within the hub. So what this does is, for you to move, you have to pedal just like normal, but you don't have to exert almost no energy. You just have to pedal a little bit, and then what the bike will do, it will move for you. The miles per hour is 20 miles per hour, so you could be going 20 miles per hour and not exert almost no energy. So you won't break a sweat. So that's one of the features. So electric is the future, and it's becoming more available in Belize. So here at Belmont Point Aggregates and Hardware, we're offering very affordable prices on electric scooters and electric e-bikes at very affordable prices.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include cath lab, adult intensive care unit, neonatal intensive care unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
For the first time since 1984, the United Democratic Party has a standard bearer in the Queen Square division who does not bear the last name Barrow. On Sunday, attorney Godwin Haylock emerged victorious over Shane Williams in an election convention to succeed incumbent area representative Denise Sistaby Barrow. The day's proceedings went without incident and carried an overall cordial atmosphere as both contenders and their supporters were civil and even friendly towards each other. But at the end of the day, the results reflected that at the polls, the 800-plus UDP Queen Square supporters who turned out to vote had a clear favorite in Haylock. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
There was a total of 860 ballots cast, 5 were rejected, 119 for Shane Williams, 736 for Godwin Haylock.
I, Godwin Haylock, do solemnly swear that as the United Democratic Party standard bearer for Queen Square constituency,
the overwhelming majority votes that UDP Queen Square supporters gave to Godwin Haylock on Sunday over Queen Square resident Shane Williams was a clear indication who they want to represent them at the next general elections. It was the convention that has attracted the highest number of UDP supporters percentage-wise so far after the last general elections. However, the 800-plus residents who turned out represented only a fraction of the over 2,700 total registered voters in the constituency. Haylock, nonetheless, thought that the turnout showed UDP's strength.
It's just over, or just under, I guess, 1/3 of the voter turnout to the showing clear UDP strength at a convention. And first of all, this division is not used to coming to conventions, and the machinery is really not a machinery made for conventions, right? It's a machinery we normally use for the general elections, but we had to tweak it and make sure that we tried our best to get our people out, because that's something that we normally have to go and get people out. People normally come out for general elections.
Shane Williams, who we spoke with earlier in the day, said he was getting the signs from then who the voters wanted.
You know how politics is. I've been seeing some of my best friends in some Haylock shirt and things like that, so that's politics. So I'm on my own, you know, campaigning on my own, strategizing on my own, and planning on my own. So this is a total different thing, nobody to rely on at this level, every man for himself at the standard bearer level.
The two contenders were friendly towards each other and even posed for our cameras. Soon after the polls opened at 9 a.m. until they closed at 4 p.m., former UDP ministers John Saldivar and Edmund Castro were visibly in Haylock's camp. While we asked Saldivar for an interview, the only thing he would say was congrats to the winner. Mr. Saldivar, would you have any words at this time?
Congratulations, Godwin. You're the new lion for Queen Square.
Thank you.
Now, as he prepares to face off with Deputy Mayor Alan Pollard, the People's United Party's candidate at the next general elections, Haylock said he's ready to work.
It will be the same Queen Square that will work hard for every constituent in this division.
It is not clear at this point whether the redistricting exercise that is currently underway will change the boundaries of Queen Square or the number of registered voters. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Earlier today, party leader Shine Barrow congratulated the new UDP standard bearer for Queen Square following a resounding victory on Sunday during a constituency convention. Godwin Haylock and Shane Williams contested the candidacy for that electoral division under the United Democratic Party. When the polls closed later that evening, Haylock, a close relative of incumbent area representative Denise SSB Barrow, had trounced Williams by more than 600 votes. Barrow also commended the valiant effort put forward by Shane Williams.
Since Belmopan, I did not attend that convention, but you all know what my position was. But since then, I have not interfered or intervened in any of the conventions. So I always congratulate both candidates. And the turnout, 32%, that's almost as much as the member from Queen Square won the division. So that's a great turnout. 860 UDPs came out to cast their vote, and I wish Mr. Godwin Haylock all the best. I congratulate him. I also congratulate Mr. Shane Williams, who against all odds, against all probabilities, offered himself and gave the people an alternative. The people chose Mr. Haylock, and so we move forward.
The National Party Council of the UDP met on Saturday to discuss a number of issues related to the political organization moving forward. During the meeting, a vote was also taken to determine whether Shine Barrow should be challenged as party leader ahead of the 2025 general elections. There was a near unanimous decision. A majority of those who voted did so in favor of Barrow, remaining leader of the party. We also asked him about a letter sent to party chairman Mike Perfeet on Friday evening. That letter was written by Collet area representative Patrick Faber, who made claims of coercion in respect of Shine Barrow and Ian Jones's resignation as standard bearer.
So I'm extremely grateful that by a vote of 102 to 16, there were 118 people in attendance, that the National Party Council almost unanimously voted that I will remain the party leader going into the general elections And I also congratulate my deputy leaders, the party chairman and the vice chairman, who were also endorsed to continue to serve the party with me.
The elephant in the room at this point, nonetheless, was the letter that was issued to the chairman just ahead of the NPC meeting on Saturday. How do you respond to the allegations that were being made insofar as you purportedly coercing the Colette area rep in respect of the withdrawal of Ian Jones from that seat?
I didn't see the letter, so I can't comment on it. But 102 to 16 is almost unanimous. It's more than 2/3 even. So the statistics tell the truth of the tale. There was no need for any coercion because 102 to 16. You guys have always reminded me since my last convention that I only won that by 3. So now that the tables are reversed, I think it's only fair to accept when there's a supermajority and the party, loyalists, leaders, officials have all come together to agree on the way forward, and that is our focus so that we can deliver in the municipal elections and deliver in the next general elections so that we can be the UDP government that the people need.
Last week, word broke that Ian Jones was going to step aside as the UDP standard bearer for Colette, citing that it would be the best thing for the party and for unity heading into an election season. This coupled with the UDP leader Shyam Barrow's comments indicating that there's amending offenses between himself and the Colette area representative Patrick Faber lent credence to the notion that it would be Faber's opportunity to contest in the next general elections. But Faber wrote to the chairman of the party just last week, bringing to his attention 2 specific incidents when he thought Barrow was in violation of the principles of democracy, and in one instance, even manipulation. Faber made reference to a conversation on Friday, March 24th, between himself and Barrow. He said that Barrow approached him and asked for his support for a proposal that he was going to take to the NPC to keep the current leadership without contesting it at the UDP's national convention scheduled for August. He said that Barrow told him he would ask Jones to resign as standard bearer if he, Faber, would support the notion. Faber went on to state in his letter that, quote, he, referring to Barrow, confided in me that he agreed that the process to disqualify my candidacy was flawed and that he was ill-advised and hoping to make it correct, unquote. Faber said he indicated to Barrow that he couldn't support a resolution that did not involve a democratic process and shared his view that the UDP is currently the most divided it has ever been, and that it is in times like these that the party's democratic principles needed to be adhered to. The second scenario that Faber's letter cites was last Wednesday, when he said that Barrow contacted him trying to coerce him into supporting his proposal. Faber wrote, and again we quote, on Wednesday of this week, the party leader contacted me and attempted to coerce me into supporting his resolution by using Mr. Jones's resignation as leverage. He informed me that he would only cause Mr. Jones's resignation to become effective if I agreed to support his resolution in the upcoming National Party Council meeting, unquote. Faber went on to express disappointment and deep concern about what he calls under-democratic and manipulative tactics that he accuses Barrow of employing. Faber then called on Parafit as chairman to take action to ensure that Barrow adheres to the UDP's principle of democracy. Faber also urged Parafit to take the necessary steps to correct the unconstitutional move to replace him as the Colette standard bearer. When we asked Parafit about the resolution on Sunday at the Queen's Square Convention, he said that as chairman, he has the option to not get involved in the one-on-one exchanges, and that is what he has chosen to do. As far as Jones is concerned, Parafit said that he remains Colette's standard bearer for the UDP.
You know, as the chairman of the party, Marian, I have the luxury of not getting involved in anything like that. All I know as chairman is that we have a standard bearer in the name of Ian Jones. That's all I know. I have not received any resignation from Mr. Jones. I have not been informed of any resignation by Mr. Jones. So as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Jones is the standard bearer for the collect division. Whatever discussions took place between the party leader and the Honorable Patrick Farber, I was not privy to, still not privy to. So I was not a part of that discussion, so I don't know. Whatever they discuss, of course, politics is politics. If it turns out that one particular person believes that some other individual stands a better chance of being elected, then that's how politics works. But I don't know that anybody has resigned, or I don't know that anybody has been replaced, or nothing like that. All we have in the Secretariat is the cover of neutrality, the cover of staying in the middle. We're not involved in any of that except making sure that those who are officially recognized by the party are being promoted by the party.
Despite Farber's wishes, the UDP's National Party Council still went ahead and voted overwhelmingly to support Barrow's proposal to keep the status quo within their party. The proposal as it stood was to keep Moses Shine Barrow as its leader, First Deputy Leader Hugo Pat, Second Deputy Leader Senator Beverly Williams, Chairman Senator Michael Parafit, and Vice Chairman Alberto August until the next national convention following the general elections. So at its August convention, the leadership would simply be endorsed as Parafit indicated.
That was a resolution that was carried. I think the NPC's position is that for the sake of stability and unity within the party, it's best to have the leadership remain in place until at least the next general elections, so we don't have to go through those vexing, contentious, divisive conventions and voting before the next general election. So the party decided, or at least the NPC decided, that it's in the best interest for now to have Shine Barrow continue to be the leader of the party.
When we return, Taiwanese president visits sheep and goat project funded by Taiwan.
Safety is a cornerstone of peace of mind. And for a long time, the Belize National Fire Service has been doing our best to help ensure the safety of the Belizean public. We see that there is more we can do. This is why we have embarked on certifying firefighters to also be able to provide emergency medical services to the communities that we have been proudly serving. This means that we can now assist with both fire and medical emergencies with efficient time. We went even further and created the 990 Communication Center, an emergency dispatcher service developed for quick responses to fires, accidents, and health calls. This service is already presently available for the Cairo region. Just dial 990 and the first question you will be asked is, 990, what is the address of your emergency? You see, if we don't know where you are, we can't get you the help you need. Stay on the line and continue to answer the questions of the dispatcher. They will use the Beacon app to give real-time updates to emergency responders as they approach the situation and will be prepared to serve you. The Belize National Fire Service, the U.S. Embassy of Belize, and Belize Heroes have partnered to make emergency medical services available. We ask for the public to partner with us and call 990 for emergencies. You are help until help arrives.
Tour guides, your renewal season is coming up. Please be advised that all tour guide license expires on July 31st, 2023. BTB will start accepting applications for renewal starting May 1st, 2023. Tour guides, we're asking you to apply early in order to have a new and valid license before the current one expires. To submit via email, you'll need a clear scan of each document in PDF format and properly named and labeled. Send your application with all supporting documents to tourguide@belizetourismboard.org and include your full name and your tour guide license number in the subject line of the email. Remember to fill out your applications correctly, as BTB will no longer be accepting incomplete applications. Contact our licensing officers at 227-2420 and press 1 if you have any questions or concerns.
Easter greetings to you, Belize, and to all our most valued customers. The Easter season is here, and I believe that most of you will be taking that much deserved and anticipated vacation. As you make preparations to gather memories to last a lifetime, we here at Champion Security urge you to check your security system to make sure that they are working. For the camera system, check the camera visibility and conduct a playback. For the alarm system, check your arm disarm feature. You can call us at our office to conduct a servicing or corrective maintenance of any of your systems. So remember, continue to hop to your own music, ensuring that Champion Security will secure your most treasured eggs.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Following President Tsai's stop at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Office of the Prime Minister, and the House of Representatives, she was hosted in Belmopan to a luncheon by Governor General Froila Salam. From there, she traveled to Central Farm, Cayo, where she toured the Sheep and Goat Center, a breeding project that the Republic of Taiwan funded in November of 2021.
Belize's Sheep and Goat Project was established in 2015, and since our Taiwanese friends began funding the project the following year, it has grown significantly, according to Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo Mai.
In 2015, the Ministry of Agriculture conducted an assessment and found that the sheep and goat subsector was suffering from poor genetics, a dilapidated infrastructure, and limited capacity for the sheep and goat farmers in the country. Since then, the country has seen an increase in the production of small ruminants, improved infrastructures, and enhanced capacity to farmers, thanks to the intervention of the Republic of China, Taiwan, through both phases of the sheep and goat project.
Mai alluded to an overall boost in the agriculture industry through Belize's diplomatic ties with Taiwan.
In the agriculture sector, we have benefited tremendously from support to specific agricultural research and development projects, agro-processing, and agribusiness. This collaboration has so far played a dynamic and crucial role in helping to bring together stakeholders in the development of the agriculture sector, beginning with the development of the rice industry in the early days of our partnership.
With an investment of over $200,000 from Taiwan, the ministry has been able to acquire the necessary genetics, a center for breeding the animals, and the training on how to manage the industry. Project coordinator is Andrew Mejia.
We imported genetics, very important. That's the sheep and goat. We also train farmers. Our farmers, they thought they knew how to rear sheep. Now, they know now because of the training from the project. Also, we are teaching farmers how to cook. We're going down the value chain to ensure that, you know what, they not only know how to raise them, they actually know how to consume them. And we have found out that last year, the consumption of sheep and goat has actually skyrocketed. We're actually in the process of starting to work with the supermarkets. We go to a majority of supermarkets, we don't find sheep and goat, the meat there. To be, as you would find pork, beef, fish, and all the other meats that Belizeans consume. Now, when you do find it, it's expensive. So there is a lot of challenges ahead for us to get this subsector where we want it to go, but we're making a start, and this is what the Belizeans are appreciating. Now we have more butcher shops selling mutton, right? The chevian, which is the goat meat, still not as popular as we would like, but it's growing.
Mejia says that anyone who wants to receive training on raising sheep and goat can register at any of the agricultural departments and make the request. The ministry also has the genetics for sale. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
At this time, Prime Minister John Bersenio is hosting the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, at an official dinner at the Museum of Belize in Belize City. The dinner is being preceded by an official opening ceremony, and we will have excerpts from those speeches in Tuesday's newscast. But for now, we go live to News 5's Paul Lopez, who is on the ground at the museum.
Tsai Ing-wen. It's a beautiful setting out here this evening, and we actually have an interview for you, one of the first of the many guests to arrive, who is none other than the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ms. Valerie Woods. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Now, if you just turn a bit to the camera, first of all, I want to say congratulations on a well put together event earlier today, the special sitting of the House. Let's talk a bit about that experience and what that was like for you guys.
Well, it's very historic. It was the first time, as I'd mentioned, that on the days in the National Assembly, you had 3 women. That's never been done before. Yeah. And so that in itself was historic. The fact that President Tsai Ing-wen being the first woman president for the Republic of China, Taiwan, makes it another first. Elected twice, so that's also fantastic. And just the notion that in the chambers today, we had a woman of distinction because of her determined commitment to ensure that Taiwan remains a democratic nation and putting in the processes to strengthen that democracy. She is an exemplary leader, she's a visionary leader, and she's facing a lot of tough challenges in that area with authoritarianism, but she is resilient, and her country and her people are, and it was a distinct honor for me to preside over this one.
Now, you look really lovely tonight, I must say. You're here for this evening's event. Let's talk a bit about the occasion and what it means for the Prime Minister to be hosting President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen at the Museum of Belize this evening, and for you to be a part of this event.
Well, it's always a unique opportunity to be able to be at a state reception where the country, the government of a country invites the head of state of another. And with Taiwan having us and them enjoy almost 34 years of bilateral relations, friendship, it's an enduring bond. And so this is a very special night. And I'm sure that the government of Belize, parliamentarians are looking forward to perhaps a more enjoyable evening than some of the sessions we've had in the chambers, but one to celebrate with a dear friend, Taiwan.
And you yourself, what is it that you're expecting of the evening?
Just observing, taking it in. Taiwan has really been a steadfast partner for Belize. We show our respect and we show our gratitude. So I'm looking forward just to observing and mingling with some of the friends that I've met in Taiwan as well.
Speaker Woods, thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
All right, and so there we heard it from the Speaker of the House of the Representative, Speaker Madam Valerie Woods. Now, tonight's dinner will be preceded by an opening ceremony where we expect to hear an address from Prime Minister John Briceño, and I would imagine that as we saw Speaker Woods at this evening's event, it will be attended also by a number of members from Parliament as well as members from the Senate and other government officials. So with that, we send it over to you guys over at the studio.
Thanks, Paul. Again, President Tsai Ing-wen arrived in Belize on Sunday as part of an official Central American tour. The state visit to solidify the relations between the Republic of China, Taiwan, and Belize comes on the heels of losing diplomatic relations with Honduras to mainland China in late March. Diplomatic allies of Taiwan are now down to 13. This year marks 34 years of long-standing bilateral relations between both countries. Up next in this weekend of sports, the 32nd annual Puma Women's Cross Country Cycling Classic.
You know the saying, desperate times call for desperate measures. What do you do when you get to a dead end? Sometimes life just doesn't go the way we planned it to go. And when you're in those seasons of life, what do? Where do you go? Who do you turn to? Join Sagebrush Church as we begin our series, Dead End Desperation, where we'll talk about following God in some of the hardest moments of our lives. Be sure to visit sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app for locations, service times, and more.
That'll be $50. Thank you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake. How do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the Jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The Jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The Sleeping Giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5, and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe, be sure, know your money.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
Good night and welcome to another edition of Sports Monday. I am Paul Lopez. Like fireworks on September 21st, the George Price Highway lit up on Saturday morning for the 32nd annual Puma Women's Cross Country Cycling Classic. The 73-mile race from Columbus Park in San Ignacio Town to the Digi Park in Belize City had its highs and lows, but it did not disappoint as these elite female riders took on the journey in the scorching mid-morning heat. The race got underway at approximately 8 a.m. with 10 riders. Belizean Kadisha Francis claimed the first station prize in front running W, heading towards Central Farm Village. She also sprinted to the second station prize in front Galen University. Kadisha Francis made the day's first breakaway from the main peloton outside of Georgeville. Francis maintained that gap through Georgeville, claimed 3 station prizes, and was finally overtaken by LA Sweat's Mariana Valdez and Belizean Patricia Chavarria. Inside Unitedville, Bermudian Caitlin Conyers launched an attack. She was able to break away from the main group of riders, but Mexican Diana Rodriguez responded with a chase. Conyers maintained her lead through Blackmanetti, Ontario, and Teakettle, with Diana Rodriguez on her tail and the main peloton trailing by more than 60 seconds. Unfortunately for Conyers, she experienced a flat in Camalote Village, which placed Rodriguez ahead of the race, and boy would Rodriguez take advantage of that opportunity. Rodriguez rode alone along the George Price Highway from mile 50 in Camalote Village to mile 17 just outside Hattieville. At this point, the 10-woman race had decreased to 8 riders, but Kathleen Conyers was also back with the main peloton. Leaving Hattieville, the race slowed down significantly, and the riders began cruising while remaining focused on their surroundings and any planned attacks. At the entrance to Belize City, Caitlin Connors once again launched an attack that none of the riders behind her were able to adequately respond to. Bermudian Kathleen Connors rode across the finish line alone in fine form. She is the 32nd Women's Cross Country Champion. We spoke with her and a couple of the other riders following the race.
To be honest, at that point, I was like, look, I'm just going to get to the finish because I was chasing for a long time. And Mariana was with me for a little bit, but she had crashed. And then I was like, just get back. Just don't give up. Just get back to the group, and then you could sort it out once you get there. And then I don't know how, because I was dying in the wind, but I got back to the group, and then honestly, I felt good. So then I was rolling with 2 of the other girls to try and catch, I don't know her name, but one of the Mexican girls.
Diana.
Diana. And yeah, and then we had her in sight, and it was like 30 seconds, and you could tell that she was dying. So it was like, all right, we're going to come back. And then it was just cat and mouse stuff. We were doing like 0 miles per hour. I know I can't sprint. I can't sprint to save my life. So my only chance was to get a break. So I just kept attacking. And it wasn't going. It was like 3 times it wasn't going. And then the last one, I saw that the wind was turning. Like you come around a bend and then you got a bit of a tailwind. So I was like, yeah, I'm going right here.
It's an incredible experience. When I break away, it was like, oh my goodness, we're getting, I can't believe it. Right. Firstly, I think that, oh man, this is going to be so hard because it's so windy. But then God gave me so strength and powerful. And it's like, oh man. Then they catch me, and I said, no, we can. Yeah. And God tell me, you have to attack. So I attack and I'm won.
From the start of the race, coming through Cayo, all the way on the road, all the way into Belize City, I feel like I had the weight of the country for my shoulder. Indeed, I mean, everybody made cheer me on, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody that did that, because I mean that helps a lot when you're on the road and you're feeling pain, and just to know that people are riding and supporting you, you know, it helps you to push forward. And as to race tactics, I mean, my teammate Mariana was here to deliver me today, and you know, very early in the race she had a crash, and that she got back, but she was in pain, and that, you know, that's what took her out.
We would like to acknowledge Ordonez Bike Shop for the coverage they provided of the entire race. We were able to bring tonight coverage to you with their help. Great job. Be reminded that the 93rd annual Holy Saturday Cross Country Cycling Classic takes place this Saturday, April 8th. The 50th Caribbean Free Trade Association Games is scheduled to take place in the Bahamas from the 8th to the 10th of April. Last week, the Belize Athletic Association met to select a team of athletes that will represent the jewel at the event. In the under-20 category for boys, Andre Armstrong and Daniel Myers were selected to compete in the 1,500 and 5,000 meter races. Joas Mejia was selected for a long jump and triple jump. In the under-17 boys category, Dimitri Myers was selected to compete in the 800 meters, 1,500 meters, and 3,000 meters races. Mallory Myers was selected in the under-17 girls category. She was chosen to compete in the 800 meters, 1,500 meters, and 3,000 meters races. We spoke with the BAA's General Secretary, Harrison Pilgrim, about the selection.
Carifta is a highly celebrated junior championship, which has been going on now for the last 50 years. This is the 50th year celebrating the Carifta Junior Games, which tends to highlight young persons, most of whom are still in high school or in sixth form, and it's for under 20s and under 17s. We've certainly participated last year in Jamaica, and a family team last year of the Myers family, 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. They participated, and one boy came second in the 800, and the girl came 4th in her 800 run. We're expecting that both of those young persons who have had tremendous improvement in their style and in their capability over the past 12 months, that we are looking forward to seeing them on the podium, and maybe if not on the top seat in the podium, somewhere very high up.
Mia Sylvester and Kali Magana were also selected to compete in the upcoming games. However, they were unable to commit to the team due to a clashing of schedules. We wish our athletes all the best and maximum success. And finally for tonight, the 2023 Men's Volleyball National Championship was held over the weekend at the SCA Mercy Center in Belize City. We would like to send our congratulations to the champions of that tournament, M&M Engineering's EA Warriors, for taking the top prize. We would also like to give a huge shout out to all the members of the 8 teams that competed in this championship tournament. All right, folks, that's all we have for you in tonight's coverage of Sports Monday. Until next time, be mindful that nature is the best playground. Go out and have some fun.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5believe.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, have a good night.